Hi, grade 5. This week's vocabulary words and poetry terms are on page 148 and 149 in your Reading Writing Workshop textbook. Now, notice we only have 4 vocabulary words this week because we are doing poetry, and the other 4 words we're going to focus on are the poetry terms. Let's start with the vocabulary. Number 1 is ambitious. Ambitious. Paulo is an ambitious bike rider and always looks for challenges. If you are ambitious, this means that you have a strong desire to succeed at something, to accomplish something, all right? This is being ambitious, when you have a strong desire to accomplish or to succeed at something. Number 2 is memorized. Memorized. Pat memorized the poem and recited it perfectly for the class. If you memorize something, this means that you learned it by heart. All right, so you have it in your memory and it is there for you to recite it. All right, so you learn it by heart. Number 3 is satisfaction. Satisfaction. Participating in sports such as basketball gave Jason great satisfaction. Satisfaction is when you feel pleased when you accomplish something. All right, so think about what it means to be satisfied. All right, you are pleased with what you did, so this is satisfaction, feeling pleased when you accomplish something. And number 4 is shuddered. Jill shuddered as she bit into the tart, juicy lemon. If you shuddered, this means that you shook or trembled from fear or from cold. All right. Also here, in this case, Jill shuddered because it was very sour. All right. So this is when you this is when you shuddered. Okay. You shook or you shake or tremble from something. And of course, 2 of the examples to keep in mind are being scared. All right. You shudder. Or when you are cold, you also shudder when you eat something sour, when somebody startles you. All right, these are all examples of when you might shudder. Now the poetry terms on page 149. Number 1 is narrative. All right, what does narrative mean? What is a narrative poem? A narrative poem is a poem that tells a story. All right, I like to read narrative poems because they tell a story. All right, do you guys like poems that tell about fictional or real events? Again, a narrative poem, what you should remember, a narrative poem tells a story. Number 2 is free verse. Now this is the opposite of a narrative poem. This does not tell a story. It repeats or it focuses on the writer's thoughts, okay, and ideas, feelings. Okay, some poets enjoy the freedom of writing free verse poems that do not have rhyming patterns. So an important thing about free verse is that they do not have rhyme, they do not have set patterns, and we will talk more about this later. Number 3 is repetition. Repetition, the repetition of words, phrases, or lines used for emphasis, all right, in a poem. So it stresses a certain idea or a certain word or phrase or message in a poem. This is when we use repetition. So we repeat it a lot to emphasize its importance. And number 4 is rhyme. All right, we all know what rhyme is. A poem with rhyme contains words that end with the same vowel sound. All right, so think of 3 words that rhyme with funny. We have funny, bunny, runny, sunny. Okay, all of these rhyme with the word funny.